AGM. Obviously, all your microphones have been muted in this AGM. Obviously, all the votes that will go to raise your hand, and they will be then recorded. First of all, obviously, I would welcome you. We've had quite a stressful 2 years. It's not been a great 2 seasons for the NSL and football as a whole. Obviously, with the NSL, we did manage to get in a small competition for those that wanted to play to carry on. It caused us a lot of work, phone calls, stress, headaches, but obviously it was put on to obviously continue and help people with physical and mental health. It came to the finals, great finals that we had down at Bestwood. All the way to the finals for the foundation was an all-women's final, all-women's final refereeing, should I say. And that was AFC Bull Farm versus Netherfield Seniors. Netherfield won that with 6-1. In Division 2 North, Beeston Old Boys had against United Grace Community. That actually went to penalties, and Beeston Old Boys won that by 5-3 on penalties. Division 2 South, we actually came to AC United versus Bingham Reserves. AC United won that one also 5-3 penalties. Actually, that might be wrong. Division 1, Woollerton Top Valley went to the final. Woollerton went through to win that 2-1. And then the Premier Division, which was San Diego versus Bingham Town, went all the way again to penalties. Was such a close game. And then Bingham came in out top, winning 4-3 on the penalties. Just want to congratulate all those teams that got through to the final. The behaviour in most of those competitions was outstanding and a pleasure to have, and it was worth the headache and everything else that went along with it. Obviously, there was a few exceptions, and as well as that, the only other thing that I actually have a little moan on is the competition was then put on. I've never seen so many cautions and disciplinaries come up in such a small competition in such a space of time. There was actually more probably cautions and disciplinary in that little competition than there probably was for the whole of the half a season that carried on. Okay, so that without the way, I'm going to start on the AGM. Obviously, I'm not going to keep you long. You know, the AGM is a really short one that we have. We just go through everything that should have been sent to you would have been sent out by Zoe. You all know that only 2 representatives per club are allowed in the meeting, and only 1 person can vote per club. Okay, the meeting is recorded now. It started. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so the agenda that was sent out, it was to receive and confirm the minutes of the preceding annual general meeting, to receive and adopt the annual report, balance sheets and statements of the accounts. Then it will go to election of clubs to fill the vacancies. These are recommended by the management committee. The election of officers and management committee, the appointments of our auditors, any alterations to rules. We have none received by the clubs, so the only alteration is by the committee that should have been circulated to the members prior. Also, we'll have the constitution of the competition for the 21 and 22 season, the fixed date for the commencement of the season starting for this season 21-22. Any other business of the AGM, notice shall be given. We haven't actually had any things come through relevant to the AGM of any other business. So it's pretty straightforward and we'll get done in half an hour or less. I'm on a record today, guys. Obviously, a lot more things will be actually said at a pre-season meeting. We have a pre-season meeting usually 3 weeks before the season starts. Then obviously there'll be a lot more to go through, and hopefully we can have that face-to-face, that we can all sit down and meet everybody. Okay, so you've all received the minutes of the general meeting last time. So I've proposed that myself, was seconded by Amanda Raybottom. All I wanted a show of hands just to say that everything's been accepted and you're all confirmed and everything's okay with those, please. If you just want to raise your hands for me. I'll just give it a couple of seconds because I've only got 30 people that's raised their hand out of how many is there.
So we have
There you go,
67,
it's going up.
67 on the call,
There you go.
Tracy.
So
Just
we're over
remove-
halfway, so they've been passed.
Just a
Great.
reminder, Tracy, as well, just to move the slides on.
I have moved the slides on, haven't I?
Sure, I've
Yes,
still
I have.
got slide 1. Oh, okay.
I've got and the next one I've come to do now is receive and adopt the annual report ones. Is everybody seeing the same screen as me?
No, I think we're all on the same one. I think you're moving along. We're not. Now we've got the agenda.
Oh.
Hang on. No, we just got. I think we're all on just slide 1. I think.
Right, I'm going to take control again. Top off my control. Right.
Perfect.
So you are received the confirm the minutes of the preceding annual general meeting. You've all got that now.
Yeah, and if everybody could just lower their hands as well, ready for the next vote, that would be great.
Thank you. It's because I've had to put it on my tablet and not my laptop. So apologies for that. Okay, so we go to the next screen then. If anybody wants to take the hands down for me, those have been passed. Okay, next on the agenda is to receive and adopt the annual report, balance sheets and statement of accounts. You should have all actually received those. There wasn't that much coming in this year because obviously what we did at the start of last year is we paid everybody half of their league fees and everything back first. And then there was a reduced on that. And again, the season's actually been caught short again. So I proposed those myself and seconded by Zoe. Can I just have a show of hands to accept those, please?
$46 for you.
That's great. That's fantastic. So obviously they've been passed as well. Brilliant. See, gosh,
keep going in and out.
This is going fast, isn't it? Okay. So the next one is on the slide is the election of clubs to be filled the vacancies. These have been recommended by the management committee that have gone through. So these have actually been proposed by the management committee and proposed by Daryl Parks, seconded by Crest Cliff. So these are all the new clubs that have actually applied to come through. Next slide tells you all the new list of new clubs for the 21-22 season. Just want to go through them. Obviously, the FC Rufford, Awsworth Villa Reserves, all the FC Reserves, Bestwood Colliery FC, Education FC, Pass Move and Grin FC Reserves, Phoenix FC Reserves, Robin Hood Colts, the Rossoneri FC, Shirebrook Soldiers FC, and Yatesby United. What we're going to do is we're voting these all on block again. So if there's any problems with that, what I would firstly do, if you want to raise your hand if you have any issues with any of those teams wanting to come in, otherwise then I'll just move on block. Who's raised the hand, Mark?
So actually, I'm just nobody has that. It was they were just left up from last time round. I've just put them down again.
Thank you very much. Okay, so if there is no one actually against that, do you want anybody has a show of hands to actually vote on block for the list of new clubs into the 2021-22 season for this year? Gosh, that's quick.
You're at 40 there. I don't know if anybody else is raising their hands, but you've got 40 so far. 39.
Okay, that's past them. Great, thank you for that. Okay, so obviously the list of all the existing members in the NSL constitution is there. There is some that's highlighted in yellow. The yellow ones are existing clubs that have actually changed their names. For example, Carlton Town now I've got called Carlton Town Lions. Bestwood Park AFC are actually a change of name from United Greys Firsts. Someone's raised their hand. Is there a question there?
Phil Henry. Oh no, it's gone down again.
Okay. So, yeah. Somebody wanting to talk. I'm going to chop your hand off if you keep putting your hand up.
I think you're right, Tracy. I think you're right. Okay. AFC Top Valley.
AFC Top Valley, have you got a question? If you've got a question, you just need to unmute yourself first.
Didn't realise my hand was up. Apologies.
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm going to come around chopping hands off. That's fine. Okay, so we have two teams there that are actually highlighted in red. They are actually, we don't know if these will be actually staying in the constitution or not. The one has asked to move on. Only just had the resignation, and the other one doesn't know if it's going to be going on forward. If, however, they do fold before the fixtures are out, they will not be replaced actually this year, because obviously we've said there's going to be no relegation moving here, there and everywhere throughout the league. So they will, the constitution will stand as it is without those teams in. Obviously, some more, obviously that's the rest. Oh, where you all gone? Why have you all come on to? Oh, I've lost my slides, Mark.
Give me a second, we'll sort it.
Technology is absolutely fantastic, isn't it, guys? You think I'd actually know all this by now? Yes, it's okay. Thank you, Mark.
There you go.
Thank you very much. How many meetings I've done on Zoom this year? You think I'd have full control? Okay. So just going through any more existing members there. Okay. So everything's been passed. Fantastic. So welcome all the new clubs to the NSL. Hope you have fun, and we'll have hopefully a full season this year. Hey. So the next one is election of officers on the management committee. I hope I haven't been too mean this year, but obviously the election of officers actually still stands as it was last year. So chairperson, myself, vice chairperson, Daryl Parks, secretary Zoe Moore, assistant secretary Amanda Rowbottom, Cheryl as treasurer, fixture secretary Chris Cliff, assistant fixture secretary Gary Howe, registrar Rob Hornby, compliance officer Kirsty Smith, discipline officer is Kev Buxton, referee representative Tom Beer, and the other committee members and club representatives are also Richard Allen, Paul Lambert and Peter Adam. We have actually got a vacancy for a press officer. There has been an email from Zoe that's gone out actually to try and fill that position. Hopefully, if that's going to be before or on the pre-season meeting, we will obviously put that forward to you just before with as like a 10-minute SGM, obviously to vote that in. Also, there may be a change on the treasurer side. Cheryl has actually come forward and said that she may be stepping down from that role. If, however, that's going to happen, also at the pre-season meeting, we'll have an SGM beforehand to obviously with anybody that's come forward to actually fill that position. If everybody's happy with the election and officers and management committee, can you just show hands, please, now just to re-elect? Damn. Okay. See, I can't have been that bad this year then, can I? If everybody's voting me back in. Great.
Peaked at 41.
There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for that.
You've not had a full season though yet, Tracy.
Ooh, 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 ooh. There's no one more passionate than me, though, is there, mate? There you go. So, number 5 on the slide is appointment of auditors. This year, we're actually on about changing our auditors. We're actually going to go with the same auditors as the NOTS FA are using. So, end of year, they will be audited and sent out from the same of those. Mark, can you just remind the people the names of the auditors that you have? Because I haven't put those on my slide.
Hobson's we use as our auditor.
So obviously we're just going to go on the same, because obviously we work along now as we're a lot more with the county FA, so it's probably a lot easier and better for us and better for the league to obviously work with the auditors along with the county FA. So obviously I've proposed there. I just need somebody to second that for me. If anybody just wants to raise the hand, first one to raise the hand. Great, thank you. Who's that, Mark?
You can take your pick. So if we take Louise from Burton Joyce.
That's great, thank you very much. Lovely, thank you very much. Okay, the next slide, we'll go to rule changes. We've had no rule changes, and no other clubs have actually come forward. The only rule change that's actually we've put down there, so rule 18N will be a change in the standard code of rules. The fine for a playing eligible player. So many clubs actually got fined this year for playing eligible players. Recommendation obviously now is that the fine is to be increased up to a maximum of £100 per player. At the minute it's only just set at I think £25, but obviously if you're having the same team that's really offending, I mean this can actually be increased, so the maximum will stand for any one eligible player will be £100. And obviously rule 21B, the home club shall either do on the full time or use the Matchday app or do the messaging and notify the results of each of the competition match to the results secretary by 6 p.m. on a Saturday. That's changed to 6 p.m. from 5:15 and 9:15 for evening matches. Okay, you need to make sure that you're putting the match score along with the full-time names of goal scorer. So failure to comply with this will result in a fine in accord with the fine tariff. As many people as we can, if you can get the match day up and running, everything is actually on there for you. It'll have your whole teams on. It's a fantastic system so that you can actually do anything to do with fines, scorers, anything as you're going along. That's the only rule changes that we've actually put. If there's nobody, can I just have a show of hands to actually say that everything's going to be okay with the rule change?
For 41 again, Tracy. Still there, Tracy?
Seems to have gone a bit laggy.
Yeah, just give us a second. I think, has she gone? Yeah, just give her a second to come back into the meeting. She's dropped out. Zoe, do you want to give her a quick call?
I am.
Thank you. Cheers.
On that, I got picked out of my own meeting. And Zoe's just been kicked out as well. It's just kicked her off, Mark. Okay.
No worries, you're back in.
Is everything passed on that? Sorry if I missed anything. Is everything passed on that?
There was 41 for you.
There you go. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so the constitution for the competition of the 21 season. Okay, that's wrong. Someone's put 21-21. It should be 21-22.
Sorry.
That's so it's so. Okay, the constitution's next. So obviously the way that it's going this year is the Premier is going to have a maximum of 18 teams. We need to get that down in the next couple of years or year to 16 teams. So obviously we need to finish the season. We need to get promotion this year, and we need to push teams up. Unfortunately, this year with the FA, let's not even go there because I have had still no correspondence from them. There was 2 teams from the Premier teams that was actually asked to go up. All that information was given, and for some reason they overlooked the whole of the Step 7 for any promotion in the whole of the Midlands, which was a bit garbage as far as I'm concerned, but let's not get me started on that. Also, so Division 1, then we've got maximum of 18 teams. Division 2, North and South still is a maximum of 18 teams. Division 3, obviously the foundation will be a maximum of 14 teams, but also with the NSL this year, we're actually having a development division. What we're going to do is the development division hasn't actually been put all together yet because that will be a late start of September. But what we will do is have more information for you. If we actually have to vote that in with members clubs, that will actually be done at the pre-season meeting also. If not, it will be a separate AGM for that. But obviously, this is how the divisions and how the NSL is going to look from this year. So we're adding yet another division this year. So it's looking quite good and big. So constitutions for next year is your Premier Division. There's no change to that, obviously, because nobody's moved. So you've got your 18 teams there. There's no change either in the NSL Division 1. That's actually stands the same. Have we all got it and taking snapshots of it and everything before I move on to the next slide? Because I know you all do. Okay, so your Division 2, South Division and your North Division. Boilers are still there actually in red because obviously we're waiting confirmation whether they're staying in the league or not. If that happens, Division 2 South will go down to 17 and nobody else will actually be put in there. New teams have actually been added into that. The Division 2 North, the new teams actually have been added into that as required for Division 2. So it takes both those up to 18. And your foundation division actually has gone up now this year to 14 places. Okay. With all the new in there. Brilliant. Okay, have you all had a good look? Yes. Fantastic. I'm on course to finish this within half an hour. Brilliant. Okay, so next date to start season. Me and Chris are having loggerheads at this. Mr. Fixture Secretary has said he wanted to ready to start the season for Saturday, the 14th of August. Now, we know that many teams won't be able to actually start on Saturday, the 14th of August. If you're not able to get to your ground, which we know that a lot of you have crickets or such on, then obviously Chris will actually accommodate in that way that you'll be going away. I think Chris has just got a squeaky bum time of thinking that anything's going to end or we're going to get bad weather. So the earlier we start, the more likely then if we need a break or anything stops for the time being, that we're still going to be able to get these teams in and get these fixtures in. Obviously this year the cups will be going ahead, also the league cups. So there will be probably a third cup on that. Instead of having the senior and junior, we will be introducing a new cup for the extra divisions, and also the development division will also, once that's up and running, will have their own development cup. Who's raised their hand?
That's me, Tracy. Stapleford Town.
Sorry, who? Sorry?
Jason from Stapleford Town.
Hello, Jason.
Hello. Sorry, I was in a container filling up a tractor with diesel.
You want to put your hands up to me?
I did, yes. How much notice do you need about pictures being available?
As soon as possible, really. I mean, it's 14th of August. I know that's an early date for a lot of teams. I'm going to go on that and agree with Chris forward for Saturday, the 14th of August, was that obviously there's going to be some teams there that are not going to be available to have their pictures by the 14th of August. Okay. Really, what I would suggest you do is if you all obviously email and contact Chris Cliff regarding that of when's the earliest you can get on your pictures and when's they start.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is we're having our goalmouth relayed, that's all. And obviously contractors haven't turned up. They've been promising for 2 weeks and they're still not here. I think we all know whose contractors they are, but
I'm not going to say a word on that one, but
Yeah.
there you go. But yeah, I'm more than obviously. I think what you said, you wanted to get an early one in. Obviously, if anything goes wrong, you don't know what weather's going to be. We want to get all the League Cups in this year. We've got obviously a bigger league this year, so more teams, more cup fixtures. Then you've obviously got the Notts Cups also. A lot of them actually in the bars and things like that as well. So it gives us a little bit more leeway. But obviously, we do know that some of you aren't going to kick off on that date or not going to be able to have your home fixtures that date. As long as Chris is clear regarding it, and when you're thinking you can, you know, the league will always help and try to reverse fixtures and things at the start of it. But obviously, then you might have a lot towards the end of the season at home.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. Anybody else got any questions? Who else has raised the hand?
Eve Hyde.
I've been trying really hard to keep my mouth shut, Mark, I promise. Just a quick one, Tracy and Zoe. The constitution of the league had Division 2 North with Beeston FC Development, which is the name of the team from last year. We've actually renamed that team to be our reserves this year.
You have. Zoe, slap Zoe's hand for me on that one.
Well, I do apologise.
There you go.
Because obviously our development team is going to be competing in the development division.
No problem
I
whatsoever.
will change that in a minute, Steve.
Nice one.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Zoe.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for bringing that up. Anybody else got any questions on the constitution?
AFC Top Valley.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, other than the league, you say how many cup competitions will there be this year?
Hopefully, usually now we have the senior cup, and the junior cup. We'll be doing 3. So it'll probably go to senior, junior, intermediate.
Magic.
Okay. At the end of the day, we've got too many teams there to do and push. And to be quite honest, the way that we'd probably do it this year a lot, especially with yourselves, is if any teams obviously want to push and go for higher, then go to the higher one. Normally, it's usually split up by the league to actually you're going to senior cup or a junior cup or an intermediate cup, as you know. You are automatically put in these. It's not like that little cup competition that we put on at the end of this season. It is a requirement you actually will get put into the cup competitions because it's the League Cup competitions.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Got a question from Steph.
Steph.
Hi.
Are you all right?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Yeah, we're called FC Mansfield, not AFC Mansfield.
Thank you very much. Slap Zoe's wrist again. That one.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Can you make note of that, please, Zoe? I think that's her yes saying yes. Or she's not talking to me anymore. Okay. Anybody else got any questions on that on the start of the season? Fantastic. So no other business has been forwarded by any other clubs asking any questions regarding to the AGM. So obviously any other concerns or questions, if you want to email myself, Chris, or any of the committee members regarding anything. There will be a slight change, obviously, with the pre-season meeting. Now, obviously, with the last couple of years with the seasons, and especially the first season that got a nil and voided at the end, we have recognised some teams, and on one of them, we've had a few clubs come forward as well, recognising one of the teams in the Premier Division for how well and how far in front they were. It's not just the management that actually looked at that, and it was a shame that it was a nil and void years because they were going to be cleaning out winners of Bingham Town. So we have recognised that, and lots of other clubs have actually come forward to us, sending that, and obviously, noting that Bingham were running away with that. So we will be doing something, and we have got a few more little presentations at the pre-season meeting that we're going to be putting forward to some teams in each division. So you've not been recognised, any of you. We have looked at, and we wanted to make sure, and we wanted to do something this time, but obviously because we've had to do this over on the computer and not face to face, we're going to wait for the pre-season meeting. Hopefully, by those fingers crossed, if Ilkeston are on the call, then we're trying to get at the pre-season meeting. We'll go back to Ilkeston Town's ground, and their pitch might be nice and beautiful by then for us all to see. You never know. Okay. Anything else to the conclusion of the NSL AGM? All dates will be circulated also for any of the meetings that we're going to be doing throughout the season. If there's no other questions and queries, obviously it being an AGM, it's the quickest meeting we'll ever have. And I'll say
Tracy,
goodbye.
Tracy, you've got one question in the chat just about fees. Marissa is just asking about how much the fees are for this season.
Okay, the fees will be actually circulated. What we're going to be doing for the fees, it would be said at the pre-season, but most of the fees this year will be halved. So any existing clubs that have been in the NSL from the beginning, for your league fees, they'll be half this year because you only did half the season last year. So any new teams that are coming in to any of the divisions, they will be invoiced separately because obviously they will have to pay the full year's subscription and league fees. But all of your league fees, all existing members will be half of what you paid last year. So £90 going to be £50. Anybody else? Somebody else has raised their hands now, isn't there?
Yeah, Jason, raise your hand.
Me again, Tracy.
You again?
Yeah, me again. You know, you always like me in these meetings. Registering players. We've always been told register them all for every team. That's not the case now, is it? Every team has to have their own squad.
Yes. So obviously, if you're registering, if you've got a first team and a reserve team, you have to register them through your first team. If the first team's in the Premier Division and you've got a reserve team into the second division, they get is per team. So you're not registering them per club. You're registering them per team.
Okay. Are we still going with the paper-based registration, even though you're trying to drive it all through match
We are
day?
trying to take away, but then again, every time then I come up and I say no more paper, Rob Hornby then gets me and proves to me unreasonably that without any problems that, hang on Tracy, these are the 5 incidents that's happened this year that I've had paperwork to prove it. So we're still in discussions regarding that. As a club, anybody that you are registering for your club, you should have a registration form for anyway. So if there's ever a discrepancy on a registration, and obviously we come to you as a league, you should have a registration form there already filled up and everything.
Okay. Will we still have to submit them to Rob then?
Rob still wants them submitting. It's not the way that I really want to go, but Rob has actually proven unreasonably dealt with me on 5 occasions where we've had people saying, I haven't signed for that team. I never signed for that team. We have their signature in front of us on an NSL registration form. And it's been proven. So every time I say no, Rob always comes back at me and says that this has happened. And
it just seems an extra level of work that clubs don't really need.
Yeah, totally. And that's why we wanted to take it away from you. But and I still really don't want to go with the paper. But then Rob, as I say, comes at me and goes,
okay, fair enough. If that's how it is, that's how it is.
We're still having that conversation with him.
All right, brilliant. Thank you.
He'll win that one.
He always does. All right.
Okay.
Can I just interject here, Tracy?
Yeah.
I have sent out a link to everyone. There is a registration workshop on Monday that Julie Mitchell is doing on Teams. So anyone that's still not sure how to use the new system, I would suggest you join this workshop if you can. All right.
Thank you. Anybody else got any questions regarding? You've made me go over my minutes now asking questions. Anybody else? Or can we actually... No?
You're good to go.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you, everybody. So I want to thank you all for attending. As I say, start date will be the 14th of August, pending obviously how you are for your own pictures and if you're able to get on there. Any problems, then obviously please email us a league. And please email Chris Cliff with your starting dates as such. Okay, no problems. Thank you very much. And we'll send emails out soon, obviously, regarding a pre-season meeting when I've actually got it booked in. And if they're on the line, they can give me a text, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.